F1 Manager 23 season finale for the championship.
The season draws to a close here with the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. A long season has led us around the world over all this year's races to get here. The last chance to settle the season in the final round. The Yas Marina circuit was completed in 2009 and we've seen a fair share of celebration and commiseration over the years since then. The scenery may be spectacular, but this weekend, all eyes will be on the track.
In the Constructors' title battle, it's Mercedes who are currently leading. And those crucial Constructors' Championship points are what the teams have fought so hard for.
That's all here. Now back to the action.
Into the weekend we go, and showing a bit more practice pace than normal, 16th and 17th, because we got fresher engines in the car. Because it's the last race of the season, you naturally have more spare engines. You can use your spare engines because you only need one guaranteed for the weekend, because even if you crash them, you still got your fresher set. Carlos Sainz has taken a grid penalty. Max Verstappen has a fresh engine, but at no penalty cost. 98% confidence for the both of them as we head into quali.
Qualifying is coming up, and the drivers will be ready and raring to go.
Drivers are able to defend well during races at Abu Dhabi, preventing rivals from gaining easy positions. Setting a good grid position during qualifying is fundamental as a result.
Karun, if we could perhaps talk about Lewis for a moment. How do you think he's feeling?
They'll be feeling okay, I reckon. They're certainly doing well next to their teammate, and they're really proving their value to the team.
And with that, let's get back onto the track.
First laps then in Q1, Lewis Hamilton quite close to George Russell. George Russell actually showed more quali pace, or more pace in general, I feel, at Las Vegas. So I hope that won't continue this weekend, because Lewis needs to fight for the championship. And as you can see, you put a fresh engine in Max's car, he goes half a second quicker than the Ferraris. That is not ideal for us. Hopefully we'll be quicker than the Ferraris this weekend. And as long if Max wins, we need to finish 4th. If Max wins with fastest lap, we need to be on that podium. So Lewis needs to be on it this weekend like a carb on it to fight for the podium and possibly the race win. It's P3 or P4 and P10 in Q1, as Lewis was a bit blocked and impeded by the traffic. Alex Albon also with a 10th place penalty, or a grid penalty, as we head into Q2. George Russell quite far ahead of Lewis this time, 4 seconds, but that's on the Intus run to gain drive confidence so they can drive as quick as they can on their dry lap. That's a bit more like it. Lewis Hamilton purple first sector, getting a bit of a better slipstream from a further range, which will mean less of a slipstream, but it means he won't be getting too much dirty air through the corners. Gazzy's on the mount lap. Hopefully he doesn't impede us, which he doesn't impede Lewis either, who's currently purple right now, but I don't believe Red Bull have shown their true pace in this session, because they're currently sat P3 and P4. Anyway, George Russell and Lewis Hamilton up to the line. What's going to be P2 and P1, and it's going to stay like that till the end of the session. And that would have been a 1-2 if that were Q3. Starting the first lap in Q3, George's got a slipstream on one of the Ferraris, and Lewis has got a slipstream on George. Well, he's 3 seconds behind, but he'll have somewhat of a tow. George has gone purple through the first sector of the lap, coming down towards the chicane and then rising up through the chicane towards the top of the track by turn 9, and then descending down towards the start of the lap. He won't be doing another lap. He goes purple in sector 2, which Lewis takes it off him, but somebody's taken the fastest first sector, and as they come up to the line through the final corner up towards the top of the lap, what's it going to be? George quicker, Lewis a 10th slower than George, which is not all we needed. Lewis currently P6, but if this was the race, that would be enough for the championship. Lewis would win it by 4 points. if Max was to take the win and Lewis finished 6th, that would not be very good for the championship. That'd be an 18-point gain, I think, for Max Verstappen or something like that. Anyway, they're both green in the first part of the lap, coming towards the second part of the lap at the end of the second sector. George is purple, Lewis is green. So George hasn't had a pole all season long. He's not had a pole in a goddamn while. Has he waited a whole year just for a pole position today? Comes across the line, takes pole initially by half a tenth. Lewis then crosses the line, can't take it off him. It's P4. Is George on pole? Science can't beat it. Perez is with Lewis. Where's Verstappen?
So just confirming.
Verstappen can't do anything about it. Can Leclerc do anything? No. George Russell is on pole for the final race of the season with Lewis P4. There's an intense championship fight brewing.
Final preparations are underway.
Yas Marina has played host to a fair few title-deciding races, such as 2016 when Lewis Hamilton secured the top podium spot, only for Mercedes teammate Nico Rosberg to claim 2nd and secure his maiden World Championship. We're under clear skies here tonight, certainly to the team's relief. Now they can focus their strategy on pushing their cars as much as they can.
The anticipation is reaching boiling point at the Yas Marina circuit. Do you think it's time to get started? Well, the fans here at Abu Dhabi do.
Strategy then for today's Grand Prix. It's going to be a medium hard for George. I think I'm going to do a medium hard, medium for Lewis. As you can see me quickly, in ×5 speed, quickly edit the strategy. It was a bit longer than that in person, but yeah, we go to the race with our strategies decided and our eyes filled with a potential chance of a championship.
Yas Marina circuit. And here's George Russell, focusing on the race ahead of him.
They've got a fantastic opportunity starting on pole, but can they carry it through to the end?
Here we go. It's time to go racing. Hold on tight. It's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
Lights out and away we go then. George with a decent start, Lewis also with a decent start. Leclerc fighting Verstappen off the 5 red lights in towards the first sector, down towards the Verstappen corner where he won his first championship when Lewis was robbed. Max now retains P2, now fighting George Russell for the lead of the Grand Prix. This is not good, especially when he has fastest lap. Lewis would now lose the championship. George then retakes the lead on lap 3. Max then takes it back off him on the second straight on lap 3. Lewis on lap 5 goes up to P3 with an overtake on Charles Leclerc if he can keep it on the exit, using all the battery, all the fuel, all the tyres, everything he's got, because he has to do this for the championship, and he's done it. As George now takes the lead of Grand Prix.
And we've got a new race leader.
Lewis then tries going down the inside of George Russell. This would mean that Verstappen could only see the gap go down to 7 points in Lewis's favour. But George doesn't want to play ball. If George doesn't play ball, then the gap would go down to just 4 points. Because it's 14 as they come into the season finale. George, though, still not wanting to play ball. He's going to keep the place. Lewis is going to dive it, just like Max did on lap 1. Lewis is now ahead. They've got a DRS fight down towards the chicane at the bottom of the lap. Is Max going to block either of them? No, he doesn't. Inside, outside. Lewis with the switchback, and he gets the place. And on lap 10, he takes the lead off Max Verstappen, and George Russell takes P2. It's now Mercedes 1-2, and now we'll extend the championship lead at the moment to 24 points. Now 17, now 24, now 17 as they swap positions, trying to gain as much time as they can on lap 13. Now 17 again. Lewis actually defends it that time. They're going to fight through the third sector of the racetrack. The right, the left again. and back to the right twice. Right. And George is currently in the lead of the Grand Prix. It doesn't matter which way round. I mean, George doesn't have a title to fight for, so if we do need to sacrifice him, we will have to. As they go into the chicane, Lewis P1, George P2. George got the DRS and he's going to come flying past. But then Lewis does the same thing on the next straight, flying past George. George then does the same thing on the next straight, but he actually needs a little bit of aid from the DRS. And Lewis gets the DRS, so he does not make the place. And Max pits on lap 15 for a very early pit stop. But we can't pit because we're going aggressive on all of our stints, which means we have to abide by the stint lap and the stint lap only. Watching this race back, this is definitely where we got opened up because it's allowed him such an undercut. And Bottas currently P4. What a race it'd be if they red flagged it. But Leclerc's going to go past, as yeah, Russell got past twice there. And Hamilton and Russell fighting. They've just lost DRS to Leclerc. Lewis is going to come in on lap 19, so about 6 laps after Max pit. Onto the hards, 3.1 second pit stop, much slower than the Creator Team career mode, but we've known that for a while now. Bottas comes into the pits as well. George will come into the pits this lap. Lewis is out in P7 behind Sainz, but Sainz hasn't pit yet. George onto new tyres, that's a slow stop, 5.3, that's a big mistake in there. Right, Lewis is going to be P5, Max P4. That means the championship gap would be 12 points in Lewis's favour. That could work out for us. But Leclerc is now on Russell on lap 27 and he takes the place. And Leclerc gets fastest lap on lap 27, takes the place to Lewis on lap 28. Yuki Tsunoda has had an issue somewhere around the racetrack. What do you guys think on the day I'm filming or recording this voiceover? Ollie Behrman, not Esteban Ocon, has just announced he's going to Haas. Off on 3.3 seconds. P7, I think he's gonna merge P7 onto the hards to the end of the race. Actually, he's come up P8, just behind Valtteri Bottas. He's clearly jumped him. He's then going to go round the outside of the chicane, but he's not going to get DRS, and Bottas is actually going to come flying back past him on the second straight. And Lewis is now fighting Leclerc on lap 38. As Lewis's pit stop window is open, so we're going to push him. Charles gets DRS. Lewis comes into the pits on lap 42 with Verstappen. Leclerc pit a bit earlier onto a set of softs, and Verstappen and Hamilton have both gone mediums, and there's not much between them. As Leclerc and Sainz are now P2 and P3. Perez still leads this race. Verstappen overtakes Sainz. Verstappen sets the fastest lap. Verstappen now goes for Perez, who'd get 18 points. Lewis would get 12. The gap would go to 8 points in Lewis's favour. Oh wait, does Max get fast lap and go down 7? And now Perez has taken the lead off Charles. And it's just them two swapping, so I don't think Max can get the lead. As I pit George Russell for fastest lap, just in case Max wins. Because then Lewis can still win the championship. So it's a 3.3 second pit stop. Carlos, he's going to lose place to Carlos Sainz, but he'll only lose 1 point if he can claim the fastest lap, so it's not that deep. Plus he doesn't have anything to fight for in this race either. But it is sad to see him go from pole to 6th, as we are world champions, as Charles Leclerc wins the Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton finishes P4. An underwhelming race to say the least, but we win the championship, both constructors and drivers, in just a second season with Mercedes. Let's go. And George Russell claims the fast lap on the last lap. What a season, what a game it has been.
This really does put them up there with the all-time greats, a legend of the sport.
And the Monegasque driver certainly proved his worth with a terrific drive today.
That takes them up to 3 wins this season. They proved just so hard to beat.
Hard to believe that's another one over. The season's ended, the party's just beginning, here in Abu Dhabi. And as proceedings start to wind down here, what will Mercedes have made of this result, Karun?
They did okay today, I'd say. I mean, we're talking about such a competitive field, and all things considered, the drivers did alright.
And that then concludes our time here in Abu Dhabi.
And that's it for this season of Formula One. The teams will be working hard at the break, gearing up for another year of thrilling F1 action.
So that is that here at Abu Dhabi. World champions Lewis from 4th to 4th, George from 1st to 6th. Not the race he'd have wanted, not the race anyone would have wanted him to have. Lewis wins championship by 10 points. He would have won it in the end anyway, but we had to make sure that he would have won it, so sent George in for a pit stop. Even if he lost a place, it's not that deep. No points in the pit stop championship, but we do secure P9 in that. Let's go. What a team, what a race, what a season. Yeah. DHL/F1 fastest pit stop. 1.5 million, nice. Nice little pocket money for a Formula 1 team. God, I'd love 1.5 million. Ron Meadows, low morale. Team high confidence, even though we broke the cost cap. George 4th, Lewis 1st. George finished 4th in both seasons. 1st in the Constructors' Championship. 1st in everything. Team everything goes up. Make sure to like and subscribe. And follow me on Twitch, MegaGamer8888. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.